Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to As Empires. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here, ready to start a video dedicated to all the new players of Age of Empires 4 or the least experienced players on Age of Empires 4. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy, leave a like and subscribe and leave comments down below to give me feedback in how to improve these videos as well, and just if you agree or not with what I say in these videos. So, this is a series dedicated to new players, like I was saying before, right? And this video will be specifically about water maps and fishing. By the way, use the links down below to catch me live on Twitch, because many times when I'm live on Twitch, some new players or less experienced players, they ask me if they always should go for fishing or for the water in water maps. And my general answer is yes. If you can, you should always go for the water, right? You should always go for fishing economy. And why is that? Because building a dock is basically having a second town center, right? It's not literally, because boats can only fish. In certain maps you can make trade ships as well, which will be another layer to your economy, right? But fishing boats, they can only fish, so they're only gathering food. While if you build a TC, a second one, you have more villagers that can gather different resources and build stuff as well. But the dock has some things that are probably better than a second TC. First, for the Chinese and for majority of the civilizations, it costs 150 wood. For the Abbasid and the Ottomans, they are cheaper. And a TC, a town center, would cost you 350 stone and 400 wood. So the difference in price is huge. It's way more worth it to go for the dock, right? Then, the second thing is that deep water fish is the best food source in the game. How so? The speed at which it is collected by the fishing boats is the highest speed of any resource, without upgrades, right? Also, you can upgrade your docks, you can upgrade your fishing boats with this upgrade over there called extended lines, which is behind my camera, but it says increase the gathering rate of fishing ships by 20% and the carry capacity by 10, right? And that's why you should always go for fishing, because it's the best food source and because you are basically having a second TC and will really boost your economy, right? Now, things to notice about fishing. You can also fish here on the shoreline fish. It's not as good as the deep water fish, but it's really good as well, right? If you are being attacked or in certain maps, this is the only thing you have available to you, still go for it. It's really good. You shouldn't invest so much, or you shouldn't be super dedicated to go for the shoreline fish as you are for the deep water fish, but hey, it's still a very good food source. Sometimes, like, don't even drop a dog, just drop a meal and chill over there, right? Another thing to notice about deep water fish is it respawns. So for an example, you can go for the deer as well, right? But once you finish collecting a deer, that's it. It will not come back. But after you are done collecting the deep water fish, after a while it will respawn. So technically you have infinite food. Now, why I chose this map to make this video for you? Because Golden Heights, it's a perfect example of a map where... Oh, our scout died over there. Where you don't need to go for water. Keep in mind, it's always better to go for water, to contest water, fight your enemy there, whatever. But there are certain maps you have to go water, like Boulder Bay, for an example, which is also in the ranked map pool at the moment. But Golden Heights, you don't need to go for water. First, you only have 3 deep water fishes. In other hybrid or water maps, you'd have way more, so you'll really have to go. Here, even though the deep water fish does respawn, it takes some time for it to respawn, right? And the other thing is, because it's only 3, and they are actually far away from the docks, it's not the most efficient fishing economy. because you have to account the time that the boats travel from the docks to the fishing spot. That's why Rus is such a good civilization on water maps, because their boats don't need to come back to the dock. They just stay there fishing, making it super more efficient, right? So, then, as you can see here on Golden Heights, you still have a deer, you have the boar too, we are not here showing it. So you don't need to go for the water, and it's completely possible to win games without going for the water, right? It's completely possible, but you should still go for it. And for an example, what to do if you lose water. So generally, the best plan is to go for a second town center, because a dock or going for water is basically having your own second town center. So if your enemy has water, you go for a second TC, you try to match economic numbers, you try to delay the game a little bit, you might try to destroy the docks, you might try to build a sneaky dock and kill the fishing boats or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But just focus on economy, because that's basically what fishing gives you. It gives you economy, it gives you food, and only food, right? So it's not like the game is over, right? Because now on the other side, if you win water, you can just sit and be happy because you won water, right? You have to do something with it. You have to take your advantage and push your enemy as soon as possible, because you will be able to replenish your army faster and in bigger numbers, because you have that great fishing source, right? And your enemy doesn't. But if you just sit idle with your military for too long, or you attack in the wrong spots, you have the wrong priorities, it's possible for your enemy to come back, especially on this map, especially on Golden Heights, right? I had games where I lost even though I got the water, because, for an example, my enemy was playing English, right? And they dropped 2 keep landmarks in the middle of the map around these golds, and I was never able to get the gold, so I just lost, because they made a good work getting their own bonus up, getting their own economy up, while I didn't do much with my advantage, right? Now, another thing for beginners is you have to be very careful with how much to invest on water. You don't want to over-invest on water, especially if you already won the battle or if your enemy didn't went to water, right? Don't make army on water, because they take population space and a lot. And they take a lot of resources too, right? Also, especially here on this map, don't make too much fishing boats, because there will be a time where these deep water fish will be ran over, they take some time to come back, and then all of your boats will be fishing here, which is not efficient, and you will really feel that on your economy, like, hey, hold on, what's going on? I don't have as much food as I had in the past, it's because of this. And then you over-invested, and perhaps you have no pop space, you used too much wood, so now you are kinda stuck in that scenario, alright? But, to finish up the video, you should always go for the water, right? And a little bonus tip, right, just to close out the video, is sometimes you go for water and your enemy doesn't. And especially in maps like this, you have to be paying a lot of attention to the water place, right? Because some players, what they do is they don't go for the dock as soon as you enter the game. You should immediately send one villager there and put everybody on wood and rally point your TC to food, and then build the dock immediately and start pumping out fishing boats when you can, right? But what some players do is they ignore that, and one thing to know about fishing, it can slow your age up to the feudal age, because your villagers are on wood, not on food or gold, right? So, what some players do is they skip fishing on Dark Age, and they go faster to feudal than you, they build a sneaky dock, and then they make military ship while you can't, because you're not on feudal, and they destroy your fishing economy. So, especially on the Dark Age, you really have to balance your economy in a way where you have some fishing boats, but you still have people on food and on gold, so you are allowed to age up, not too far away from the time where your enemy does edge up, so you can build fishing military ships and protect your fishing boats. This is really, really important, especially on this map, because if your enemy builds a dock here, it's super close to your fishing economy, right? There is other maps where it takes more time for the boats to arrive, so you have more time to prepare your defense. So don't go crazy on the wood. Go to like 8 or 9 villagers on wood, and then 3 on gold, and like 4 or 5 on the sheep, on the deer or whatever, just to make sure that you can age up in a proper time and don't lose your investment. Because if your enemy builds one galley, one arrow ship, and you have nothing to defend your fishing ships, it will be a bad investment, because you invested 150 there, 75 in all these ships, and then you lose everything, and you know your enemy is ahead. Okay? But always go for the water if you can. It's an extreme advantage, and if you do gain that advantage, you have to do something with it. Alright? So thank you very much for watching once again. Go for the water in a way before, and until then, and watch me live on Twitch as well. Leave a like and subscribe. As a Cloud Surfer, surfing out. See you soon.